If it's your first time in here, welcome. This is Coffee with Coach in the Morning. CoachJahSmalls, your host. I'm here. If this is your first time joining, thank you for being here with me. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and also on IG in this moment. If you are on YouTube and on Facebook, I can actually respond to your comments right away. If you're on IG, it's a little different because obviously the wording is really small and I have to get really close to the camera. And not because I'm old, just because I have a small phone. That's all. Let's just say it like that. That's just what it is. So, so we're here, as always, every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. Afterwards, I'll go to my homie, comedian Stefan's page because he does he prays for everybody who's online and things like that. And I think that's just a great way to start your morning with prayer. It doesn't matter what religious group you belong to, what religion you profess. The idea that someone is actually trying to give you good, positive energy and good vibes, and actually can give prayers that actually make sense, and not trying to convince you to come into their faith. I just enjoy fellowshipping with other people of different denominations as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if you do, I mean, that's fine. It's just your belief. I just, for me, it works for me, and I definitely enjoy it. This morning I woke up and I woke up to the news. There was news on, and the news was saying that there was a bus that was hanging off the bridge or something in the Bronx. And the funny thing is, I'm watching this in the news. I'm trying to see this bus hanging off this bridge in the Bronx. And for whatever reason, I'm on the Bronx news, right? I'm found it on the Fire Stick, and they're not talking about it. It's just a headline down at the bottom. Like, isn't this like important? So I'm hoping that there's nobody on this boat, on this bridge. But if it is, you know, I hope they're okay. I hope they're okay. I hope they're okay. I'm here today to say that I'm grateful for this morning, grateful to be alive, grateful for all my friends, those who are coming on to have conversations with me and us and enjoy this moment. I'm grateful for that. And yeah, I just want everybody to be happy. Can we be happy and peaceful? I don't want to talk about all the stuff's going on in the news today. I want to talk about some different things. So I'm hoping that with y'all, when y'all come in, that we can have a good time, talk about some good stuff, and happy stuff. I was listening to my homie. First of all, I did thank the Creator for another blessing this morning, waking me, and everything's functioning properly. And praying for my family and friends and stuff like that. I haven't. Teresa Bryan, happy Friday to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have not, and I don't mind saying this, but I have not developed that pray for your enemy mentality. It's just, I don't have that in me. I don't. I pray for world peace, right? I would like to have world peace and less war, of course, but I've not developed that pray for thy enemy thing. I don't know where that came from, you know. I don't know if I'll ever have that. I'm not focused on that. But I did hear of some things that definitely made me happy this morning. Frugal, good morning to you. Good morning. And some directions and some things that I'm trying to work on. And sometimes, you know, you forget how much you really have until you're forced to use what you have, right? You forget your power until you're forced to use your power. And it's like, wait a minute, here I am and I got this. And you become that superhero or that super person that can do the things that you did not think you can do. Sometimes you do it better than those who you try to outsource it to, those who you think can help you out. I remember writing, I needed a resume, right? And I'm no resume writer at all. I do creative writing. I tell people I'm a deal closer. Like, you put it in professional form, professional papers, and send it in. Which, what up, brethren? Who naked up in the spot? and you give me you put the professional paperwork in, and then somebody saying we're thinking about it and set up a meeting for me to go in there with them. I'll close the deal. That's me. I'm the closer. I'll close it. Get me in there. I'll close it. Right. I'll get you to believe it. Even if it means I have to walk in doing poems and just being on the mic. And another funny thing about that is people who know me, they're not surprised by what I say on the microphone because I'm the same person off the mic. Like, the same person you see here. Like, this is how I am when I'm hosting an event. I get a little more animated, of course. There's a little more energy and stuff like that. And I'll find that within the moments. But, you know, That's just me, but I'm less like the same person. So I don't know what it's like to become something else. And I think that's the genuine thing about um, what I do and how I do it, because it's always the same. It's always the same. And yeah, I don't try to I don't try to become that next thing, right? I just try to better me in my movements and whatever that is. I try to be whatever better me I can be, and I think people should adjust to that. Um, if you do, you end up working on the bumps in the road. You end up smoothing out some things that you did not realize you could, because I think we are looking for something to happen for us to do something else. So, Brother Mike, Soul Friday, what's up, brother? Yeah, I think we are actually looking for something to help us smooth out something. So, in other words, Simp, what's good with you? When people initially, whatever they're going through, right? When it's at a boiling point, we kind of look for an outside source, if you would, or something that's going to help us smooth out that bump in the road instead of digging inside. Sometimes the answer is right inside. You know what I mean? And I'm just learning that. I'm learning that. And then I had to fill out some paperwork last night and this morning, and in that, when you can fill out paperwork, and in the paperwork you can see your growth, you can see how you're becoming a new thing, right? Whatever that is, a new artist, a new poet, a new writer, a new business person. When you see it within your writing, within your works, it's really, really, really a fabulous thing. It's really fabulous, man. That's just like one of the greatest things. I'm really happy to be able to do that. Um, I've got called for. I've got a bunch of gigs coming up that's forcing me to cancel out some things that I want to do with some people that I enjoy working with and that I love. Yes, happy Martin Luther King Jr. official birthday. Right. Happy birthday to Dr. Martin Luther King. Top of the morning to you too, Sent. I like that. Top of the morning. I used to say that being funny all the time, but I like that. Top of the morning. And I got some more tape. So tape of the boxes. Boxes of the mugs are going out today. If you order mugs, they're going out today. I got some more tape, and I'm going to get them out in the mail today. I think I have two more to send out. Send those out today. I think two more, but I'll see in a minute. And if you haven't gotten your mug, you want to get one, holler at your boy, and I get you straight, and I'll hook you up. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited about 2021. Right, Brethren, like top of the morning, right? To have I don't know, it's just a fresh look on life sometimes that you get out of nowhere. And I think you need to really embrace on what that feels like when that happens, because we don't always have that. But I try to create my mornings the same, as best I can, playing the same kind of music. Like I listen to Jamie Foxx probably every morning, and I listen to him sing his song Heaven that he wrote for his daughter, and I love that song, and I used to play it all the time for my oldest daughter, and now I get to play it for my new baby girl's coming. I still can't believe my oldest daughter's about to be 20. I can't believe that she is about to be 20, and I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, wow, bro, like I remember her being just a baby, and now she's 20. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm getting up there in age. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I am going to. So here's the idea I want to run by you all that are here. So the writing, a lot of people wanted to be in the masterclass. However, the masterclass has gone to a new thing now, and the masterclass is not so. I will say it's still affordable, but I understand it's not for everybody's level of affordability. So if I do. If I can set it where you can, if we can have a subscription to writing prompts that I'll create, and then I will have them, I will vote and judge, and I will read the top ones every week, right? Would that be something you all be interested to? Because I'm going to, I am going to do, I'm creating a few platforms, and I'm going to create this one today. And what's going to happen is people subscribe to it. I don't know what platform I'm putting it on yet, but you subscribe to it. You can only submit if you subscribe to the platform. And what I'll do is I will read the top. It depends on how we get. I read the top ones on live, or outside of that, Dark Man Blues. What I'll do is I will actually have the top. Maybe I'll bring the ones who've been voted the best poems that people like the most. Out of the ones to vote, people I choose to read them. I will have them actually come on a live, and we'll do a live, not on just on IG. I want to do it on the YouTube, and it's been purposely doing that. I'm purposely building the content for the YouTube, which I'll all hear about later once it's all said and done. But I'll bring you on the YouTube link, and we'll go on live, and you get to read your poem on live out of those who are winners. And so you won't be just it won't be a waste of time for you. And I'll make it so y'all let me know what y'all think about that, and I'll tell y'all what I'm going to do. But I'm going to set that up today. And like I said, every week I'll give a writing prompt, and then I'll when they're submitted in, we'll read them on a Friday, and maybe I'll read them all on a Friday. Like I'll deliver the prompt on Friday. You have till next Friday to get your work in, and then I'll read them, and then I'll read them before I give the next prompt or something like that. We'll work it out. But if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. I'm going to do a series of different poems. Those of you who've been in my creative writing workshops or been in a masterclass, you understand how this is just what I love to do, and it's an easy thing for me to do. And I think about what I'm doing because it's purpose behind it, but at the same time, I try to, I want to do it so I can help you create a new platform. I want all of you who are writers and poets and that are doing business. I want you to learn how to invest in yourselves, and then how to make yourself a business and not just a poet or a writer who has a book. I want you to realize that you're a business. I don't care what level you're on. You know what I mean? Yeah. I gotta definitely finish up some other things that need to be okay. I'm not going to say that. But there's a lot of things that I wanted to introduce you to. Mike, you in here? Definitely. Tell me what you think about that. Which, let me know what you think about it. Sent you in here, let me know what you think about it. Anybody else who's coming in? I know a few of our friends will be in a little bit later, and I'll reiterate it. But I'm going to start that today, and I want you all to figure out, what you think about it. There are different groups that I belong to. There's going to be a lot of other poets in it besides those of you who are with me, a part of Ain't Right Tribe, those who support Granny's Boys, those who support Respect to Mike Slam. There's a lot of other, I think I got open mic today. I think I do. There's a lot of entities that are involved with, that I'm involved with. And I want to see, I just want to see some great things happen, but I want poets to start to learn the business of it. So if you have questions about the business of poetry, being an entertainer, being a poet, being a writer, being an author, if you have any questions, put them in there and let's talk about them. And some of the things that we are afraid to ask, we end up not knowing. Oh yes, Bridget, I'm doing it. Definitely, Mike. I'm glad it sounds good. And I think it's a good it's a good way to help other people who haven't been able. I'm trying. So once you go in, okay, so let's explain that. Let's explain this. Michelle, good morning to you. When you have people who go on IG, you're seen by the people in media on IG. Most of the time, people don't go back and watch IG, right? If I put you on YouTube, somewhere down the line, somebody's going to see it. And you may have your own channel, you may have your own link. But there are people who are going to see you that you haven't ever seen before. So I want to give people a chance to be in another zone and around new people, people that support me, support my platform, and support things that I do. Got to get this workout in. Holler at you later. Okay, Sam, get your workout in. Dark Man Blues in the building. But yeah, I want to do some exciting things, some rights, and I want to challenge poets to do some excellent writing, right? But I don't want you to just do it, and then the poems don't belong to you anymore. Once you write it, it's no longer your poem. That poem is for somebody else. Even if you still get something from it, that poem belongs to somebody else. And I want that poem to belong. I want you to make that poem be. I want you to give that poem life to someone. I want you to put it in someone's hands or put it in their ear, and then they can live within that poem. I think that's something that I want to see done. And I'm explaining what that means to me, right? So let me show you this. Like, so I always use it as an example, right? This is my daughter's book. I wrote this book for my baby girl, right? And when the editor didn't do some things, and it kind of messed me up, I had to start over with some stuff, right? So I ended up having to get that book republished, if you would. So they had to take that one off. And so I decided, I said, I'll make a bigger book so that I'll know which book is I'm going to sell, and then I'll just take the other one off the market. And so the bigger book this is the bigger book. Look at the difference, right? Good difference in size. It's difference in size, right? But when I got this book, because I got this book before I got the finished version of that one, when I got this book, there were still some things that I wasn't totally satisfied with, but it worked for me, right? Because the editor couldn't do some stuff. They said they couldn't do it. But anyway, neither here nor there. But when I open this book, there's a feel on this book that's more comfortable for me. And then now the poems become a new thing when I read them, because it feels different when I'm holding this book in my hand. It gives me a different feel. And within that different feel, I'm able to deliver a message differently. I'm able to give people what I want them to have that I may not have had if I didn't have this particular kind of feel. I hope that makes sense. But I love this book. Like this heart on the back, I'm going to show you this heart on the back, right? I'm going to move it closer here, and then I'm over here. The heart in the back is actually, it's on this side. It's a collage of every word in this book. And you can't see it, but every word in this book is a collage. It's a collage. Every word in this book is in that heart. And I thought that was just a beautiful thing to do. And it's inside the book as well. And I think it made such a masterful thing. And when you do your book, Kendra, good morning to you. When you finished your book, when you've completed your book, whatever it is, you wanted to say what you wanted it to say. You wanted people to know exactly what you wanted it to be. And I think we don't focus enough on it until after the fact, which is fine. I mean, I'm not mad at it, because I've done that. But you end up giving people so much more than what you expected. You know what I mean? When I read from this book, I remember a lot of this book comes from memories and things, that experiences that we've had. The picture is actually, I remember we were in CoachJahSmalls. In this picture, I need to do it like this. We were in CoachJahSmalls, and we were enjoying the ice cream cone. And we took that picture, and she was just smiling and laughing. So, and it's just an amazing picture. And who would have known that would have been so befitting for now, for the timing? It made it a perfect picture. And when I read those, I remember how I was trying to make my baby girl feel like she had value and worth, because she didn't, you know, and she was going through what she was going through. And she, you know, sometimes family think they're helping and they're hurting. Even friends, like we think we're helping a situation, we're making it worse because we're not listening. And I told my daughter, I said, baby girl, I cannot answer some of those questions, but let me give you what I can. And everything I had, I put in that book. I put into those in those poems, and every syllable, every spelling, every misspelled word. In fact, it read like a run-on. It almost read like a run-on sentence, if you would, the way I wrote it. And you can actually go through the steps of it, and I take you into our home. I take you into our love, into our relationship. And it made that book come to life, because there was so much that I wanted to say that I could not have said in any other way. And to know, like, now I'll still take a picture and send her a picture of one of the poems. And then she won't call me back, but she's got iPhones. We team iPhone over here. I don't know about the rest of y'all. and she'll put the heart on it, and it'll say that she loved the image and things like that. And then I know, if nothing else, at least in that moment, she felt love. At least in that moment, she knew that I thought about her. You know what I mean? Sparkle, good morning to you. And I love to make sure that she knows that. I look forward to doing that too with my new baby girl who's coming. I look forward to saying that. I look forward to telling her things like, on this day, this is what I thought. On this day, I wrote this poem because here's what I thought about. And I want to give, when I set up the platform for you to subscribe to, those are the type of poems and prompts I'm going to send. I'm going to give you prompts that are going to make you dig just a little bit deep, a little bit more than on the surface. And it's purposely done because when you start to do that, you start to see how your work becomes another thing. You know what I mean? And hopefully I'm able to use images like I want to, like I enjoy doing, and stuff like that, and videos and songs. And yeah, there's just so much that I want to bring to life, because now I know what it feels like. And as a writer, I want you to experience that. As an author, I want you to feel that same thing. I want you to feel that same desire. You should want that. Every author just wants to sell books initially. So I'm going to sell books. I'm going to sell books. I'm going to sell books. But I'm going to tell you what happens more. The best part is when somebody calls you months later and said, listen, or they text you or send you a DM and say, man, in your poem, Love Note number 27, oh my gosh, I felt this way. I felt that way. I heard this. I heard that. When people call you and tell you that, when people send you text messages and say, hey, that poem resonated with me, I'm going to read that to my daughter. I wish I could say that to my daughter. Here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to see happen. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Marquise, what up, brother? Men are taught to not show emotion, for the most part, to not be emotional. And so what I want to happen is the men who have daughters, right, who have not been able to say, I love you in certain ways. Man, it's good to see you, bro. Hit me up, man. We got to talk, man. I ain't talked to you in a minute. Holla at me. The men who it's hard for them to show emotion and to show a tender side. I want them to be able to sit with their daughter and read the book. I want them to read this with their granddaughters. I'm looking forward to the day that I can read this book to my granddaughter. I have a granddaughter. I believe I have 2 granddaughters. I know one for sure, and 2 grandsons. And I look forward to the day I can say to my granddaughter, here, I wrote this for your aunt, but I want you to have it, right? I'm just getting in touch with them, and my granddaughter, my son and I aren't seeing eye to eye at this point, and I don't want to disrupt anything, but I know that no child is going to be like, I never want to meet my grandfather, and my prayer is that my granddaughter does not become bitter, and that she doesn't. I mean, she's 11 now, and I don't know that. I don't know how much she reads or if she enjoys reading, but I believe that when I get to see her and I get to hold her in my arms, and I sign that book and I hand her that book and I say, hey, I wrote this for your aunt, but I want you to know about your grandfather, and your book could be in here, like your book could be next, right? Let us build that. And maybe that might be a book that's coming. Maybe it's a connection. Maybe it's a like I want you here kind of a book, from grandfather to granddaughter, because we don't have those. A lot of that's not a. It's a regular thing. It's not normal. It's not normal to be without your blood, but it's a regular thing now, and people make it regular. But maybe that's a book coming. Maybe that's a book coming entitled to her. Who knows? I don't know. I don't write what I don't feel. And maybe that's what this morning is about, me recognizing that is something that has to happen, right? And imagine that you've not known your grandfather. He can hand you a book that he wrote for your aunt that you haven't met, and then he says, "Hey, your book is in the mail. Your book is on the way. The book is entitled Alicia because that's your name, right?" I imagine that. Um, and even my grandsons, like I'd like to be able to give them, um, something that's more than just a gift. You know what I mean? Something that they can say, "Well, look, man, I'm grown, and I remember when I was 12 and my grandfather wrote this book and he dedicated it to me." And you know what I mean? There's so much in there. There's so much in it. I think the hardest thing for me is, and which I plan to put in my documentary too, is trying to, how do you how do you mend a broken relationship with a child who does not want, I can't say doesn't want to see, but doesn't know how to move past their brokenness, right? How do you tell that child that, it's broken, but it can be mended back, but I can't mend the broken if you won't sit still. I can't mend the broken if you don't allow me to mend it, allow me to fix it. Like, we can patch it up, but patching it up doesn't fix the broken. And that I think that's a great discussion, but I don't know how to, like, I don't know how to connect that relationship like I like it to be. You know what I mean? And my youngest son, he's speaking, act like everything's okay, but I know he's going through some stuff too. And I don't know, I don't have the words to fix it, right? And being a man of words, it's hard to say that I don't have the words to fix it or initiate how it works. I just try the way I can. You can't tell somebody you love them if they telling you you don't know them to love them. If they block that, right? If they cut that off, like, you can't love me because you don't know me. You know what I mean? You can't. It's just finding that, and if I could find that, right? If I could find the words, and like I said, maybe that's a thing that's coming. I don't think things just happen. Maybe that's a thing that's coming. But to find that, I think would be masterful. It'll be masterful, and that may be the next project. That may be the next project. I don't know. I just would like to fix some of those things. I like to yeah. How do you mend the broken? How do you find the words to begin that process? You know, and I'm not saying poetry is the answer. I just know poetry is a gateway. It is definitely that bridge. You can take poetry and walk across it and get to a place that you didn't know exists, or a place that you knew exists but you couldn't find it, and you can poem your way into it, right? You can poem your way into it. And I don't know, maybe that's the thing that I'm working on. That's going to be coming. I'm not running from that. I am excited about it now that I'm saying it out loud, because I thought about it for some time. You hear people say, what's your best poem? What's your favorite poem? Tell a part of your story to him. Just talk. I do, Mike. We've talked on the phone. He's even mentioned little things, and he mended. My youngest son tried to mend the relationship between my oldest son and I, but my oldest son, he refuses to bend. Like, he wants to stay stern in this one area. He wants to stay. This is it. And I'm saying, you're not a tree, bro. You can move, right? But I don't think, I don't know what's causing him to feel like he has to be that way. And I know it's part of being in the streets and all that, but I know some street dudes that men things. I'm not trying to be. I don't want to be dad at this point, right? Right? Like, I don't want to be dad. Let me be father, right? And there's a difference. Let me be father, so we can take on the hard stuff, knowing that we ain't got to go. We still ain't going nowhere. We still here. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just to acknowledge using simple words. Yeah. Sometimes, but and like I said, I'm not gonna say I haven't tried. I'm not gonna say my sons, both of them, I'm not gonna say they haven't tried. It's just that I'm not in a certain space, and neither are they. They're in a different space, and trying to bring those energies sometimes. The clashing comes from when you refuse to feel outside of wanting to feel like I have to, show my chest. I have to bump my chest out, and that's the thing that happens with men, even young men. Sometimes we don't understand that the best way to man up is just be easy. The best way to man up is just be easy. If you look at your most powerful movies, the most powerful men that are in those movies, right? Even gangster movies, the most powerful men, they sit back and they listen and they observe and they take it all in before they even respond. And I think we don't do that part. We don't become the sponge. We just kind of just be like, ain't no way, no, no, no. And that's the most hurtful thing because you miss so much that could be. And you're probably, yeah, and like I said, I'm trying, I'm still trying. You are a man of structured words, but sometimes the structure is not needed. Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. And I don't, like I said, I don't go to them like, yeah, I'm your father, I'm not that, it's just trying to be in the moment. Beverly, good morning to you. Tell your son that in the right wind, trees lean and bow. Wow. I like that. I like that. I like that. And, I think with my youngest son, I think it's more of him removing himself from it. And it might be the same with my oldest son too, but it's still some things he has to learn and accept about himself. Like we all do. We have to accept things about ourselves. But I think there's some things that he has to accept about himself and know that he's not always right. And until he does that, I think he's going to continue to struggle with so much other things. Yeah, right about the relationship before the hurt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true, Kendra. That chest out is a shield. Talk to the shield. Right, right. And it still it still boils down to something has to happen from the other side as well. And I know that um, I could be a bit bullheaded, as people say, and a bit stubborn. He's very stubborn, very stubborn. I'm stubborn in a lot of ways too, but I've learned to take my stubbornness and bend it. You have to, right? And my hopes is that he will eventually get to that point too. Eventually get to that point too. Um, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Just things that have to happen, have to take place, and have to change, right? And I think it will happen in time. I just want it to happen before I'm gray and old because the gray is coming, which I love. I didn't think I would love to see gray hair, but I do. I'm not ashamed of the gray hair, and I can tell people all the time. It was said I wouldn't see this age, and then growing up when I grow up to see 21 is a whole nother thing. It's a whole new thing. People, young men dying and going to jail and going to prison at young ages. 21 is just like, wow, you made it. 25, forget about 30. You know what I mean? Both parties have to be open, Kendra. That is it, absolutely. And my youngest son, he actually tries to do that, but he's torn. He's torn, and I don't be harsh on him. I just miss him, man. I just be telling him, look, bro, can you call me sometime? Text me sometime. Why you I always have to reach out first? Like, come on, you meet me halfway. I want you to be here with me because if when you're doing something from one side, you feel like it's not wanted. Feel like it's not wanted. And I'm gonna send him a message. I'm gonna shoot him a message today, and be like, what's good? I still look at his Instagram. I still holler at him. I check on his Instagram. I go on his Instagram live on his story, so I was checking for him. You know what I mean? I do that purposely so I was checking on him. Same thing with my daughter. I go on so they know that I was checking for them. You know what I mean? So if I don't say anything, I was here. Because you got to see who watch your feed. I still talk about them on my lives. And when they pop in, when he pops in and he see us, I always be like, yeah, that's my son. That's my son. Tell people to follow him and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just the things that you got to work on. Yes. And honestly, my sister and I have had a lifelong dislike for one another. And my parents never brought her to the table to work through those grievances. She never learned how to communicate. And that's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Good morning, everybody tuning in on IG. I'm kind of talking about my life and talking about relationship stuff with my children. I don't know how we got here, but it's what it is, right? And I think part of the thing that we need to do collectively, we need to all learn that you're not going to fix or change anything if you haven't fixed or changed anything. So you have to do something. Something has to happen. You have to make some sort of advancement, right? And it's not easy, and it's not always pretty. Sometimes sometimes it gets ugly before it gets beautiful. I said that when my son turned 25. I cried and thanked Allah that God, they made it. I asked for them to see my age. In 2 years, all of my adult children will be 30 something together. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. There's a magic, and magic is far too small of a word. But there's a magic that happens when love supersedes anything else in a relationship, regardless of what it is, whether it's family, whether it's a loved one, a spouse, or even a friendship, right? When love can step in and love becomes the master, right? Love becomes the master. And love is the reason. Things change. They grow into something else. It's like planting the seed, and then here come the roots, and then here come this green leaves sprouting from this thing now. And love just makes it a new thing, man. Love just says, you know what? So what? We're gonna drink some tea. We know we don't like each other, but you know what? I'm gonna love you anyway. So squash things early, hold siblings accountable, and do the hard talks to prevent this. Yes, Prana. Can't let things linger. Can't let things linger. I thought that in my mind, if you allow time to happen, time will heal all wounds. That is a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. Time does not heal all wounds. And stop telling yourself that lie. Please don't tell your children that is a damn lie. Time don't heal shit. Time allows you to get through whatever you're getting through by ignoring it. That's all it does. You put it in a compartment and you leave it there. You put it in the chamber and it's there. Didn't heal it. It just locked it in there. It's not healing. That is not healing. Got you in the ear driving it. Okay, Mike, that's what's up. I had to learn stubbornness is good to a certain degree. Quietness is often misunderstood as stubbornness, but it is my quiet that yes, Beverly. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. Yes, apologies and forgiveness heal wounds. Allowing someone to express or explain what they felt, right? Here's what I would say. Feelings aren't wrong. That's what you feel. It's an actual fact that this is how you feel. That is not wrong, because that's how you feel. There's nothing you can do about that. There's no right or wrong to that. It is thing, right? The reason that you feel that way, the reasoning behind what you're feeling is what can be right or wrong or misunderstood. That's what we got to remember. I'm not telling you you're wrong for feeling this way. I'm telling you that you may have misunderstood what has happened that is making you feel that way. And that's what we don't talk about. We don't talk about, okay, I don't like it when this happens. I don't like it when this happened, right? Instead, we say, you did this, and this is why I feel like this, because you did this. No. It's put it on me. It's because of this thing. September, Virgo in the building. I got my tape. Okay, I got some more tape. So your box is going out today. My tape wasn't no good, so I couldn't put it out, but box is going out today. When you have this idea that you purposely did this to me, so this is why I feel that way, you already dismantle what it is. Even in relationships, let's talk about cheating, right? Someone cheats, now you feel this way. Automatically, they cheated to purposely hurt you. How is that? I don't care if he or she is a serial cheater. Did they cheat to purposely hurt you? What you're saying is, oh, I'm going to go be with this person to purposely hurt this person. That is never the case. Well, I'm not going to say that because maybe it is, right? But for the most part, that is not why someone cheats. And we're not going to get into reasons why. What I'm stating is that you're not the reason that person did whatever they did in that aspect. Even if they say, oh, because you don't, or because you won't, or blah, 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 it is something that they have done and decided to do on their own, right? But it's not purposely done to hurt that person. I don't think that happens like that. And it might, but I don't think that's how that happens. You know what I mean? And I think even in that, the reason I'm using that, because that's more common, right? The reason I'm using that. But here's the thing. So you feel this way because of a thing that happened, but you don't even allow yourself to be able to talk about that. You don't allow yourself to speak about it or hear about it. You don't want to hear the honesty from the other person. And then you say, well, just be honest with me. And then they say it, and now you're broken, but it's the honesty that you asked for. So the way you feel is according to your understanding of what had happened. But because your understanding is locked and fixed in there, doesn't mean that you're right. You know what I'm saying? That's what all relationships, because something happened doesn't mean that it purposely happened to hurt you or to do something to you, but it happened nonetheless. So are you wrong for feeling the way? Absolutely not. But are your actual facts correct within and result to why you feel that way? You know what I'm saying? So if I stepped on your toe by accident, right? By accident now, then purposely do it. If I do it by accident, it's still going to not feel comfortable. It's still going to not feel comfortable. The question is, did I try to break your toe? No. So you should feel the pain from it, but you shouldn't have to feel like, oh, it was purposely done to me. You purposely tried to hurt me. You purposely stepped on my toe. You should not feel that way. And you got to look at that with everything. Is it purposely done to hurt you or infect you in that way? No. Unless you're in a fight or something happened and that's what you want to do. I don't know. But other than that, it's not. And we got to look at everything like that. We have to look at everything like that. Good morning, everybody on Facebook coming in. I'm sorry, I just pulled it up on here, so I can't see you on here unless you're on live. If you're on IG, if you come on YouTube live, I can see your comments live on there. So I'll answer as I can. And I don't know how we got to this conversation, but that's where we're at. And we have to start, I say you hold yourself accountable, hold other people accountable. Absolutely. But that's on all levels of everything. Everything. You can't keep saying, oh, well, this. Another thing that I find that, and this is not human error anymore. This is, to me, this is just humans repeating the same thing. We just locked ourselves into this. Here's what we're doing. We're saying that this is just who I am. This is just how I function. And that might have been up until that point, but now you're admitting that you're not willing to stop it. You're not willing to expand from that. Now you know what the end results is from that, but you're not willing to see how to get past that. The moment you say this is how I am, you are acknowledging that you're at a roadblock. You are acknowledging that there's something there and that you're comfortable there and that you're not willing to do what it takes to get you from that mode. So how can you fully heal from that? How can you move past that? You cannot. Because you are acknowledging that this is a thing and I'm not willing to get past this. I am not willing to. I know it's here and it's just there. I'm not moving that. It's one of the agreements we are doing in the GP workshop, the 4 agreements. Don't take anything personal. Well, I won't say don't take things personal, because there's some things that are personal, but it's a level of it's everything has a meter, right? It has a level of measurement. Everything has a level of fathom, if you would, right? And you have to use that purposely. You have to, whatever measuring technique you use, you have to use that purposely. You have to use that and have a reasoning behind it. You can't just pick and choose when to use it purposely. When things happen that affect you, you have to use that continuously. If not, where do you end up? You end up bitter and mad and angry. And this is just who I am. In fact, my last relationship, that's what it was. Oh, this is just who I am. This is just how I am. I'm just this way. Really? So you're admitting that this is how you are, and you're not willing to see past that. That's horrible. That is horrible. And I'm just not that kind of person. What do you mean? You don't have to change who you are to fix a situation. You don't. You don't have to change who you are to fix a situation. It is how you adjust and how you adapt to that situation. No two situations are the same. I don't care if it's the same thing. It's the same concept. The power of change, absolutely. I always say it takes just a little bit of change to make some sort of change. Just a little bit. You don't have to do a whole 180. But if you do a 360, then you didn't change anything. You just went around the block. That's it. You didn't change anything. Don't give me 360. You know what I mean? Try a 20-degree change. A 20 degree. And then maybe we can go 35 next time. We get to a 180, that means you absolutely abandon everything that locked you into whatever fixation you've been in. Whatever corridor you've run into, if you do 180, you totally block that off and you're heading in another direction. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I don't know. I can't. That's not my opinion. I don't have an opinion on that. But I do have an opinion on you going to a fork in the road and you already know what's down this avenue. You already know it's dark and it's dirty and it's dusty and it's real stormy. You don't know what's down this avenue, but something's hinting you to at least look that way. Something's hinting you to take that fork in the road. And in fact, this is what I do with in my writing workshops. I know this is how you write here. Well, I'm going to put this fork in the road and I'm going to ask you to come down this, take that right turn off of this highway, off of this freeway that you already know. This is what you've been doing all the time. I want you to take that fork in the road there to the right, there to the right, there to the right. And just come down here and let's just see what happens, right? The safety net is there because you know when you went that route and you ease your way in. You don't have to go full speed, ease your way in. But if not, then you already know that nothing is going to change. And if there's some dissatisfaction here, you can't change dissatisfaction. If you go in the water, you're in the water until you get out. It's that simple. If you go into the water, you're going to be in the water until you decide to get out. And whether you get out and dry off with a towel, air dry, whatever the case may be, you've done something different. You've done something different. So there's a different outcome. And you have to think about that. I should say, don't take everything personal. Right, don't take everything personal. You cannot take everything personal. If you take everything personal, again, you're on that same path. The path of locked into, this is it. I can't go any further. If you take everything personal. Because you're already setting yourself up for whatever is happening, but it's still going to stay in this same zone. You go to grade school, then you go to middle school, junior high school is what I grew up with. Then you go to high school, then continue education, college, right? Grade school, junior high school, college. If you stay in preschool or grade school, you don't grow. You can't grow but so far. And then you should know everything off the top of your head. You know what we're going to do in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. You know everything you're going to be doing in those grades. And you've never shifted out of that. You know, I say it's elementary, dear Watson. It's elementary. You already know. You already know what's there. Go to middle school. Take your tail to junior high school. And do that with relationships. Take it to junior high school. Okay, you know normally you expect your spouse to read your mind. No, don't have them read your mind. Write it down, write a letter, talk to them. Hey, this is where we at. Can we have this conversation? As a matter of fact, let's go have coffee so we can sit down and quietly and peacefully talk at the shop. I think I'm going to do I want to do couples workshops where we do a vision board with couples only. You have to be a couple to come in. And we do a vision board. Nothing real busy, but just the things that we want to do. We want to rekindle. I want people to be in love. I want people to have love. I want to help your relationship get to what it is. Let's just get that spark back. Let's talk about it. Right? I want to do couples, but not necessarily one-on-ones. It can be one-on-ones, but let's do them in the group. And we can do them on Zoom. Everybody's home, right? And bring up your Zoom. And we're going to talk about stuff. We're going to write down stuff. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I want to do that. I want to do a couple workshops. I want to do Um, Sibling workshops, brother and sister, sister and sister. Let's do those kind of workshops. I can do them. I can do one-on-ones if they need one-on-ones. Well, it will be one-on-one, but like individuals, two siblings get together, I can do those workshops and have a great time doing it and show things that they haven't seen. I just finished reading Polysecure and Secure and by Jessica Fern. Talks about attachments and trauma in our relationships, friendships as children and adults, how we communicate and react from trauma and life events. Wow, that sounds interesting. And Prada, what I think happens is we just don't, we refuse to bend or like I said, take that fork in the road. We refuse to do it. We just have this, we're like America, politics and all. This is just who I am. I don't care what happened back there. This is who I am. I'm not changing that. We've become that. If you think about it, let's look at other ethnic groups, other ethnic groups, and how they arrange marriages and how their children stay home until whatever age they're really ready to move out on their own. Look at how their belief systems are and the different things that they do. We are our generation. We are generationally stubborn. We refuse to do anything outside of what we think is right. We're bullheaded like hell. We don't want to bend in any kind of way. That's a lot of talk about generational trauma we pass to our children and spouses, etc. Exactly. So my daughter's mom went on to tell me how terrible I am as a father. I'm the worst father in the world, out of anger. And I could have said, what about your dad? Where is he? Right? But I wouldn't be so mean as to say such, but you don't even know what it's like to have a father. I don't know what it's like. So did I make mistakes? Hell yeah. Do I still make mistakes? Hell yeah. But I'm here, right? I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still available. And so don't judge me on something that you don't even know what it is. And am I supposed to live up to the your expectations of what you have not known? Right? But that's what we do. We constantly expect from someone something that we can't even give, can't even understand, don't even know how to. We do that a lot. And then what happens? The other people that are involved are the ones that suffer. Don't take it personal. That's a wide open and loaded statement. Then why say it? Yes, that take it personal. I just reacted differently. You can see something I can't. Is it in how you say? Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. And I think, like I said, there's always levels. There's always levels to measure it by, right? And I don't think people, I don't think we exercise it enough. We don't exercise it enough. We don't take it to the limit, if you would. We just block it off. We just block it off. Sharon, welcome to the spot this morning, man. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you coming in. I hope I'm saying that right. If I didn't, excuse me. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. We're just having a conversation. We end up talking about relationships and all aspects, spousal, sibling, parent to child, child to parent, and we're just having a conversation about it. We're on YouTube. I'm going to post this video up later. I think we talked about some good stuff here. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, CoachJahSmalls on YouTube. And I have a bunch of other videos up there, and I have guests. I know I didn't have a guest. I had a guest yesterday, but he's going to be scheduled for next week. I am up to, I think this is my 97th show. And so I have another one. Audrey, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be at 100 soon. And my 100th episode, I have to do something special. I have to see what date that's going to be. I have to do something special, but I'm excited about that too. And here is, we just get some amazing time, have some amazing conversations about some things. And I'm grateful to be here with you all and sharing some stuff and getting feedback, right? Those of you who are writers, like I said, I'm getting ready to create a platform where You can subscribe to my prompts. I'm going to give a writing prompt every week, and then I'm going to read I'm going to have them read by some poets who I really respect their work, and we're going to pick out. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing on the 100th one. I got to figure that out. But we're going to do. I'm going to read those poems on the live on YouTube Live. The poems of other poets who have written it, or I might just bring them up and let them read their own poems. That's what we do. I'm not reading everybody's poem. Get up here and read your own poem. But so I'm setting that platform up today, and I hope to see some of you faces subscribe. I know that there are some people on some other avenues that I have that will be on. I think you and MM Blackwell are the greatest jazz in the universe. After all you have, oh wow. Listen, brother, I thank you so much for saying that. And I promise you, I never strive to be the best dad in the world. I just want to be the most available dad possible. And I think being available as a father is probably the most important thing. I don't have I did not grow up with my dad. I did not grow up with my father. And I know what I missed. And I don't know how to present that to my children other than at least being right there always and not having something to say all the time. I think fathers always feel like we have to be the disciplinarian and have to have some shit to say. And when my daughter went through what she went through, and the reason this book came to life is because I just listened to what she had to say. And I didn't respond with an answer to what she had to say. I responded with, I love you. And I love you in all these different kinds of ways. And I think that what happened was it really resonated with her. And when my daughter said to me, after she had come through this bout of depression, and she said, you know, she said, Dad, I just want to tell you, you did the best thing that you could have done. And I was just listen and not try to answer what you couldn't understand. And it broke me down. And that's how those love notes end up becoming a book, because it was not planned to be a book. It was not. And then it ended up as a book. In fact, I'm trying to get my daughter's schedule together so we can come on and read together, but she's always busy doing something else. And but I want to set her up with some things that I like to see happen in her life as a result of this book. But there are so many different things that we learn in our journey that we take for granted, and most of the time our children just want us to listen. So if you're a parent in here, if you're a sibling, an uncle, an aunt, a grandparent, don't always have an answer, because sometimes the children are not looking for an answer. In fact, they just want you to listen. And that is something that I encourage you to do. Just listen to them. It is not always easy, but if they can come to you about little things, because when they come to you, they're not coming to you with the heavy stuff at first. They're coming to peek in and see if you can handle it. They're coming to peek and see if you're able to take on what they're saying and able to balance that out. And if they can tell you stuff that won't go anyplace. And I learned that with my daughter. She taught me that. And so now I know sometimes just to be quiet. And I'm learning that. Trisha in the building. My cousin Amanda is in the building. Love you, cousin. Juicy in the building. What's good? It is time. I'm closing out now. I'm sorry for y'all that just coming in. Please go back and watch this video and post it. It'll be on YouTube. It's a very, I think it's very insightful. I learned a lot myself today, just talking. I thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you so much for following us and being part of this journey. You were born with everything you need to be amazing. You are perfect, made perfect in your image. No one can take that from you. No one can be you. You are unique. You are original. You are the best thing the Creator created in your position. Nobody else can have that. Own that. I challenge you to love yourself better today. I challenge you to be a better you today than you were yesterday. I challenge you to walk a different path. Take that fork in the road. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I need you to be better, because you have it. And you are a beacon, right? Your light is shining and someone is waiting to see it. Make sure you show this world that. First of all, by loving yourself and showing this world how to understand how you are worthy and how you appreciate and how you deserve to be loved. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Be at peace. Walk on your journey. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Same time, same channel.